Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to convert a Word document basically into HTML using both Chat GPT and then I will use Perplexity Labs just to show you like the different ways you can convert a document. This document's pretty long. It's actually a book. I think it's 176 pages, 176 pages, and we want to convert it to HTML. Now what you could do is probably what you're thinking is just to upload the document. And this isn't the best way to do it by any chance, but I'm just going to show you how it works. And I'm going to say convert this into HTML. And, it's going to load it. It's going to think. And it provides you the file. So I'm going to open it. And there you go. It has the HTML already there for you. If I can right click and I click view page source, I can see the HTML and I can copy this and insert it into a CMS like WordPress. Or I could just take this file and add some CSS to it to make it look a lot better. Obviously it doesn't style it for you. But with Labs, and I'll go ahead and do that, I'm going to open up Perplexity Labs. Now this is on the comment browser. So if you download the comment browser, and I have a link in the description that comes with a free month of Pro. So if you don't want to pay, you can definitely use that for a month. But you want to have access to Labs, which is a paid Pro feature. And I'm going to upload. You can also connect it to Google Drive. But I'm going to click connect to the script. And so I'm going to say, make me a web page using the script. Make the style modern, futuristic, and minimalistic. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit this button right here. Now this process does take a while. It's a 4-minute process, so it's not like the other one, which is really quick, but it didn't really give you any style. Perplexity Labs, if you have the Pro version, you can definitely use Labs. And Labs will give it some style. You can edit it in any way you want. You can give it up further queries afterwards if you want to change something. And so I'm going to go ahead and wait for this. I will see you in a second. Okay, so the lab has finally finished. It said it was going to take 4 minutes. I actually lied, it took about 12. But the reason why I like Labs is because it can actually do a lot of styling for you, whereas the others aren't as good. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this right here, and it's going to show me the site inside of the window. And as you know, it's very modern. It doesn't necessarily match the book. That was just kind of like just to show you what it could do. So as you see down here, it actually breaks it down into sections, which is really cool. And it makes it very much more like before it's very long. If you can go over here and see how long this page is, it would be very difficult to navigate the site. So I thought it was really cool the way that it kind of broke it down into expandable boxes. That way it keeps the user's attention for each of the categories. It has very nice effects. When I hover over something, I get a border box to let me know I can click it. It's very legible. It's really easy on the eyes. What's really cool is that in the text itself, it has checklists. And for the checklists, you can actually check the checkboxes. So I thought that was kind of funny too. But it has icons, images. So if you don't know how to code at all, this might be a better option for you because then you don't have to pay a web developer. You can just pay for Perplexity, which is only like $20 a month, so it's not bad. And again, there's a free link in the description. But yeah, if you don't know how to code, if you're looking for style, I would definitely use Perplexity Labs. It's really awesome. It does take a while though if you are going to add style. And if you're not going to add style, then you can just use your Chat GPT. One thing I will say, there is a trick to Chat GPT. where basically if you ask convert this into HTML, a lot of times it will render the HTML inside of the conversation, and that could take a long time for a document like mine, and even freeze the browser. It could, it could shut down. So what I did in the past was I asked for it to basically provide me the file instead of asking for it to make the HTML within the actual application, and that actually saves a lot of time. So if you're using Chat GPT or even Grok, Grok works the same kind of way. Although I will say Grok sometimes changes the text, which I found to be interesting, where Chat GPT kind of just lists it. It misses text. Grok is, it's okay for this kind of work. But, it always asks for it to download the file directly. And the thing is I've done this many times for different content, because I enter in a bunch of information into our CMS, and I need it to be in HTML format. So if you just want the HTML format, just use any of these GPTs or Grok. Anything will work. Just be sure to ask for the actual file directly. I asked for it many times before, so I probably just learned from me personally, from my personal history. So just keep that in mind when you are using Chat GPT. But let's go back. Let's see how it does when we want to basically give it more direction, because it's a book about surviving the darkness, and a modern look probably isn't right. So let's go ahead and give it another follow up and say, hey, change the format. Let's see, to be more like a government website. And then patriotic. Because that's kind of what the book is. It doesn't really match the current style, but I just wanted to test to see if it would do it, and it did pretty well. Even adding images, I thought that was really cool, and it makes it much more easy to read. What else do we want? Use red, white, and blue colors, because it's about surviving the book itself is about surviving a blackout. I think it's kind of silly, but I would like to see it as it should be. And so, hey, change the format to be more like a government site and be more patriotic. Let's see, be more patriotic. Use red, white, and I don't know why I said black. Should be blue. All right, and let's hit enter. And now it's going to change the style. The last time it took 14 minutes, so I expect it to take maybe the same, although it isn't as complicated in terms of, like a government site's kind of basic. Doesn't have a lot of stylistic elements to it, which the one it just did, it had a lot of style to it. So let's see if it is any faster. But I'm going to wait until it actually does something, and I will be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So this is basically the page it came up with. Definitely a weirder design, but it does actually match what I asked it. I think with Perplexity Labs, it's all about kind of like giving it specifics. So if you don't like something, you can always just change it. I definitely don't like this design as much as the first one. The colors are weird, but I did ask for red, white, and blue, and it's probably trying to reuse what it already had done from the time before. So I could have. You can always just ask it follow-ups though, and it will actually do it. The follow-up I asked this time was pretty big, and so I think the two ideas just kind of clash, and it no longer works. But that's not the fault of the tool. It's just my own direction. All right, so that concludes just the presentation of how to convert a document like a Google Doc, it could be a Word document, into HTML. As you've seen, it will even add checkboxes and other things. And this was 176 pages, so I'm sure it was a lot of work. It initially had told me it was going to be 4 minutes, but the first time it took about 12 minutes, and then the second time it also took around 12 minutes. And I think the reason that is because there's so much content. So use whatever tools you want. I also find that it's helpful when you ask specifics. So like for HTML, if you're converting a document and you want certain elements, you can always just use, hey, just use p tags, header tags, list tags, um, just in case you don't want something to transfer over into HTML in your Word document. So you can always be specific. The more specific you are, the better. And so that's how you do HTML, just bare HTML, but also HTML with the style. And I hope you guys enjoyed.